To the Senate here next hour, and it could get tense with Democrats critical of immigration enforcement, demanding ICE reform, or they'll block Homeland Security funding beyond tomorrow.
Minnesota Attorney General Democrat Keith Ellison, House Majority Whip Republican Tom Emmer, and Minnesota's Commissioner of the Department of Corrections, Paul Schnell, among two panels of witnesses that also include the heads of ICE and Border Patrol, focusing on the need for local and state cooperation with immigration officials.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. Russia hit Ukraine overnight with a drone and missile barrage in the capital, Kyiv, and other cities, countered by Ukraine attacking Russian oil refineries. Two U.S. Navy ships collide off the coast of South America.
The vessels are assigned to the military buildup in the Caribbean. The Wall Street Journal reports the USS Truxtun and USNS Supply hit each other in waters near South America. Two people suffered minor injuries.
Fox's Carly Shimkus. In Brussels, there's a NATO meeting.
United States Under-Secretary of War Elbridge Colby says it's time for a NATO based on partnership, not dependency. The bloc's Secretary General, Mark Rutte, agrees.
For the United States to be secure, you need a strong and secure Arctic, a secure Europe, but also a secure Atlantic. So we are in this together.
Rutte also said the U.S. is leading the way on ending the war in Ukraine.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
Are you a fraud-paying American? 1 in 4 tax-paying Americans have been victim of identity fraud. With LifeLock, your identity, if it's stolen, they fix it guaranteed or your money back. And last year, billions in refunds were stolen. Could be from your salary, overtime, or second job. Gone. But this year, you don't need to stay a victim. Because this tax season, fraud-paying American is something no American should have to claim. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms do apply.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Senate's hearing could have Democrats sparring again with acting ICE Director Todd Lyons, and it comes a day after Attorney General Pam Bondi's hearing got contentious, especially over the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking investigation.
Democrats demanded explanations over redactions from the 3 million plus Epstein-related documents released, including the names of men, as well as the failure to redact the names of victims, some of whom were not publicly known. Others, like Vermont Congresswoman Becca Balint, wanted to know if the investigations were over.
We have evidence that 3 senior officials within the Trump administration have ties to Jeffrey Epstein. And what I can conclude from what you are saying that you have not talked to them.
Bondi asked many Democrats and Republican Thomas Massie about their outrage.
Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years?
Bondi said the Justice Department had 30 days to redact files and they're open to any corrections. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Well, this adds to immigration enforcement controversy.
A court filing from a senior IRS official, Dottie Romo, says the agency improperly shared taxpayer information with Homeland Security. The action centers on a controversial agreement allowing the IRS and DHS to share data to identify and deport immigrants in the U.S. illegally. The filing says the IRS confirmed just 3.7% of the nearly 1.3 million names ICE requested, and in a few cases shared additional information, possibly violating privacy rules. The agreement sparked lawsuits from advocacy groups, including Public Citizen, which says the disclosure is part of the reason it sued in the first place. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising the morning after modest selling. At the Winter Olympics, an athlete from Ukraine was disqualified today, not allowed to compete in skeleton for wearing a helmet displaying images of athletes killed in Russia's war. Italy leads in the medal count. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, the police presence on Champaign's Mattis Avenue Monday night, the result of a shooting. 2 teens shot. One of them died. It happened on Mattis and John Street. The coroner identified that man as 19-year-old Tariq Porter, who arrived at the hospital. Another teen remains hospitalized in stable condition. Mohammed man facing charges after multiple children who were under the age of 10 living in his home made allegations of sexual abuse. 64-year-old Willie Luckett arrested by officers February 7th. The arrest stems from a tip the police department got from the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services. Luckett facing 4 counts of predatory criminal sexual assault. Champaign County Coroner's Office released the identity of the person killed in a Monday car crash near Homer. The coroner says the victim is 82-year-old Karen Parv Newman. She died at the scene of the crash. An autopsy has been scheduled. The investigation into the accident continues. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, good morning. It is Feb 12. Isn't this Lincoln's birthday, Greg? I think it is. Greg, so
yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hey, I think you have to hit that aux button, by the way, if I may interrupt programming.
It's already hit. That's weird. I don't know.
No, okay. All right. We'll just have multiple conversations then.
Yeah, the aux is off. Anyway, we're talking technical here as we begin our program. Still bouncing on your area, huh? Weird.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm checking to see if it's me and
I don't have that thing. There's a control here in our studios in beautiful downtown Philo that would make my voice double up on them like you're singing the national anthem of a stadium.
It's actually, I think, a feed from somebody.
Oh,
maybe
I can do that.
Maybe I'm hitting the wrong button.
I can do that. I can do that, yeah. That would probably be gone now. Anyway, it's a good morning to our friend Greg Sawyer.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Anyway, the whole Nancy Guthrie, I don't know if you've been captivated by this thing.
Yeah, I've been kind of following it. How can you not be?
Well, no, it's everywhere, and it's just you're talking 12 days, an 84-year-old woman who needs medication, has heart issues. I mean, it'll be a miracle if she survives. But then they found a glove in the desert.
Found a couple of them somewhere. Yeah, I believe.
And so I mentioned to my coffee friends, there's no way the guy drops a gun. And they seem to think that a whole lot of these idiots aren't rocket science. And scientists, they can drop. But to drop a glove where DNA will be available?
Or he may be dropping it just to kind of lead him in the wrong direction.
Well, I mean, you'd have to really give him some credit if they did that.
Yeah, true.
But then again, they saw the thing. Here's what I guess we haven't thought about. Is that we had a doorbell, right?
Those ring cameras.
Yeah, the ring camera. So he goes up, takes and disables that. But the doorbell was offline. How did the FBI get video?
True.
Nancy Guthrie's Google Nest doorbell had been taken, disconnected, and off the home's Wi-Fi. There was no active cloud connection. There was no live feed. There was no upload in progress.
Yeah.
Yet Kash Patel's FBI still got the video.
I can't quite figure that end out. And why would you? I mean, I'm not in her shoes, but why would you? If you have that, why would you try to answer the door? Unless that's the way. Why would you answer the door and you're you don't know who's out there unless you busted in.
Yeah, I don't. Unless, of course, if you're dressed like the guy's dressed, you're not opening the door.
No, that's right.
So and there's a little window with bars on it. So it's Spanish oak door. It's massively.
Or is there a peephole on that door too?
Yeah, you can see that. So I don't think you open the door at 1:30 in the morning. Anyway, so that's a question. But as far as the video, according to Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, worked with private companies. Pulled footage from, quote, residual data stored in the back-end systems. I have no idea what that means, even though the device was not connected to the cloud.
Yeah.
If the doorbell was offline, the cloud wasn't being used, where was the video actually stored?
True.
How many invisible handoff points exist between your camera and the server? How much data is cached, mirrored, or retained before you ever told it it's uploaded? If investigators can recover footage after the device is removed, was it ever really offline at all?
Yeah.
I mean, they say that if you have your phone near you, somebody can hear it. Somebody can hear what you're talking about. Just having your phone next to you. I mean, who knows? I mean, privacy is gone. Forget about it.
Yeah. I mean, there's value in those systems from a safety and security standpoint when it works.
Well, but just the fact that there was no cloud, no online, no nothing, no Wi-Fi. How were they able to get? That's amazing. And in this case, great. But it's quite phenomenal.
So is this? And my question is this: was this just a random individual that he was, just wanting to bust in on, or was this, very much targeted?
I don't know. That's what we don't know.
He just punked.
I don't know. I don't know what the heck's going on with this thing. It's pretty sad when you hit an 84-year-old woman who now is bleeding. She's bleeding and she's coming out the door. But why would she open the door in the first place? I don't know. And it's 1:40 in the morning, and the guy's there 41 minutes.
Right. Yeah, and wouldn't I don't know how the development is laid out, but wouldn't you sort of, if he busted in, I don't know if he busted in or she let him in or whatever, you wouldn't hear the racket, wouldn't you, in the neighborhood somehow?
No, they're 1 acre pieces of land. So
are they? Okay.
They're like 300 feet to the next. It's a football field away from the next guy.
Yeah.
So they're pretty spaced out. But yeah, or maybe he had the mask on and then took it off after he disabled the ring and then knocked and said, "Hey, it's Bob. I'm your neighbor," and maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, it goes on, and it's a sad story and just terrible. Okay, we check your weather. It's our meteorologist, Greg Solya. He's brought to you this morning by the Urbana Park District. Want to get a side job or a part-time work this summer? There's lots available. urbanaparks.org. Well, again, beautiful in downtown Philo. What you got for the rest of the week, sir?
Yeah, temps in the middle and upper 20s, about 10 degrees higher than you typically expect here on a Lincoln's birthday, Feb 12. A little mid-level moisture showing up, some thickening clouds back towards Mississippi and parts of Iowa. Radar suggesting, at least in the cloud deck, a little moisture coming in and out. It's conceivable we may have a sprinkle come along today, otherwise waiting until next week, mid to late next week, for the first of several rain systems to come through. We won't be too far away from a rain snow line, but some rain systems to come through. So if we can continue to kind of soften up the ground, get a little absorption, maybe look at this as a little more drought relief. And if anything, a very much March-like weather pattern. Nothing on a ferocious winter storm standpoint, and very much a mild weather pattern going forward. And there's welcome moisture too across the west. In the meantime, we're at 28 at Willard Savoy, same at Rantoul later on this afternoon with a partly sunny sky and a couple of late morning and afternoon sprinkles on the windshield of no consequence up to 44. 27 for tonight with an evening sprinkle chance. Mostly sunny, milder tomorrow, either side of the 50-degree mark, 50 with a south-southwesterly breeze on the light side, and 30 tomorrow night. And we'll continue onwards from there at 51 on Saturday. Maybe a brief rain shower response late Saturday into early Sunday with a couple of sprinkles, a partly cloudy afternoon. Sunday high 53. We're in the middle and upper 50s Monday and Tuesday, and either side of 60 with a couple of rounds of shower activity Wednesday and Thursday of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solga.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it very much. ESPN 93.5. I'm Stevie J. We get it going now on this February 12, Abraham Lincoln. I'm going to pop some Abraham Lincoln trivia. He is Land of Lincoln guy. That's the same man here for Illinois. He used to bounce around Champaign County, hang at the courthouse in Urbana on his horse. Springfield, Illinois, where he set up his own presidential campaign. Ran it from a little desk. If you've been to that house, it's changed a little in a little under 200 years. Abraham Lincoln, one of the greats, guided us through the Civil War. How bad was that? All right, 7:14. I am Stevie J. Diane is off, but she'll be back tomorrow enjoying her time in Florida. So it's good news to get a little respite. Again, the Nancy Guthrie's just been swallowing up the news. I mean, there's no question it's gotten the most airtime from a whole lot of things going on. We do, and listen, we're captivated. And just, again, it's just devastating to me to think of an 84-year-old woman being taken from her home bleeding. It's hard to imagine she survives this, but maybe she will. We pray she does. And but the family obviously devastated. They continue to search, but I mean, if they can get some DNA, maybe that leads to something. But you know how many tips they've gotten since that video came out of this masked man at her door? I think everybody's seen it. 14,000. 14,000 tips. Do you follow up on all of those? You have to listen. And you got to have different groups of people working on the ones they think have a thread of credibility, and maybe there are a lot of them that do. But the guy that was first detained, the delivery guy, apparently his mother-in-law called in and said, that looks like his eyes. And they held him for a while and questioned him. He said, I don't even know the woman. I don't know if I've delivered anything there. I don't know. It had nothing to do with anything. And then they got a food delivery guy. Apparently they had to ask questions about stuff there as well. So, all right, ESPN 93.5. We will have John Decker. It's Thursday. John Decker will be coming up at the bottom of the hour. Fighting Illini getting ready for Indiana noon Sunday as the Hoosiers come in playing pretty good basketball. I don't know if you saw any basketball last night, but Maryland upset Iowa in Maryland. Oh, that was a pretty big upset. I think Iowa was on the fringe of the top 25 if they weren't 25th. 77-70. Maryland wins. Home victory for the Terrapins. Only their third win in the Big Ten. Also, I don't know if you saw Michigan and Northwestern play last night, and it's at Northwestern. I'm thinking, no chance. Northwestern had a 58-42 lead over the number 2 team, soon to be the number 1 team. A 16-point lead, and it melted away, but I don't know what the final was. I turned it off. Don't like watching Michigan win. Not interested. And so Michigan won whatever to whatever, but they won. Although, and I think what's it now? 13-1 for the Wolverines. They've lost 1 game all year. 2 full games ahead of the next 3 or 4 of us. I think Purdue, Illinois, Michigan State, Nebraska, all with 3 losses now in the Big Ten. Yeah. That thing was 68-42 Northwestern with like 8 minutes to play. And Michigan came back to win by 12. Great. All right, so we have a really cool clip of Brett Bielema talking to his new defensive coordinator, Bobby Hauck, former Montana head coach. So he stepped down. It's think about it. If you're coaching at a mid-major, the best case for you is to have a good season, and then it's automatic they're leaving because they're going to get paid bigger money at a Power 4 school. So it has to be pretty popular to be a coach at Eastern, Illinois State, Southern Illinois. If you have a whiff of good season by your guys, they're leaving to get money, and you don't have the money to pay them. So that was one of the frustrations, I think, of Bobby Hauck. So Brett Bielema called him, and they've known each other for 15, 16 years, and said, how would you like to be the defensive coordinator at the University of Illinois and bring the special defense you have? Because he's got a special defense. And he was open to discussions, and long story short, he's our new DC. So I do have Brett's the host interviewing his defensive coordinator. Brett does a heck of a job. You don't need anybody like me. You just do it yourself. How come he can do my job and I can't do his? Huh? All right, we'll get a clip of that for you coming up. It's pretty interesting. I think we're going to have an attacking defense, and I think everybody's in on that. All right, check your weather again with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Carl. Just visit carl.org for everything you need to know about this great place. All right, check your weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier, then our Fox Business, a clip of Brett and the new defensive coordinator, and John Decker at the bottom of the hour.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Very quiet, mild weather pattern going forward for the next couple of days. A little drabble of moisture here and there. Signs of a wetter weather pattern getting going. Maybe some drought relief expected into the second half of next week. Other than that, a couple of sprinkles will come along later this morning and into the afternoon. Partly sunny skies in between up to about 44. Lightest of a south-southwesterly wind for tonight. Maybe a sprinkle this evening. Partly cloudy overnight down to 27. Light southwest to south wind. Milder still tomorrow. Mostly sunny, the high around 50, and a southwest breeze will bottom out near 30 for tomorrow night. Then on Saturday, partly sunny, still mild, the high around 51. Slim chance for a shower late in the day. That'll carry into a couple of sprinkles early Sunday, then becoming partly cloudy up to 53 there. Highs in the middle and upper 50s as south winds take hold for Monday and Tuesday into the lower 60s Wednesday and Thursday. Showers, a couple of thunderstorms expected for the morning and afternoon hours of both days. For CBJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
This is the Our Idea is Ready to Launch vision. This is the Create Great Jobs vision. This is the We Need More Space vision. This is Busey, where your business visions become realizations through securing capital for growth and comprehensive strategies that ensure a prosperous future, because thriving businesses mean thriving people and thriving communities. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Burger King and McDonald's both are seeing better than expected sales. Restaurant Brands, parent of Burger King, says it was helped by its 2 for $5 and 3 for $7 value meals. McDonald's says sales at existing stores were up more than 5.5% in the holiday quarter. Its extra value meal deals are popular, and its holiday-themed Grinch meal resulted in the highest single sales day in McDonald's history. Bitcoin's price is hovering close to the $70,000 mark after the recent sell-off. Nissan is projecting it will lose $4.2 billion this year because of costs related to restructuring. It sold its headquarters and is selling some plants in South Africa. It plans to cut 20,000 jobs over 4 years. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
You never know who might be taking the quiz.
Hi, everyone. It's Candace Cameron Bure.
Hey, everyone. It's Phil Sims.
It's Dolores Catania.
Hey, everyone. I'm Kix Brooks.
It's Candace Bushnell.
I'm Rob Paulson. I'm Ryan Serhant.
Hey, everyone. I'm Nicole Palizzi.
Everybody's Kevin Nealon.
What's up, guys? It's Nia Sue, and it's time to take the quiz.
5 questions in less than 5 minutes every day. Listen and follow at thequiz.fox.
Taylor needed to sell her home and buy a home at the same time and reached out to the experts at the Nate Evans Group for help. In her 5-star review, Taylor says that Matt from the Nate Evans Group helped coordinate both transactions smoothly, keeping the process organized and stress-free.
Most agents start marketing after you list with them, but Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty starts that marketing long before he meets a potential seller. That's why there's buyers lined up as soon as you list your home. If not, your home's sold already. Great marketing gets great results, and that means more money for you. So call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans, 217-239-7113. A friend you can trust, very well versed on our market. Just do an online search to NateEvansGroup.com and start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to the NateEvansGroup.com.
Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery makes it easy to start your new flooring project. Right now you'll find project price drops on floors store-wide. First, get an instant $100 off every $1,000 you spend on flooring. Find price drops on carpet, luxury vinyl, hardwood, and more. Then get a $50 labor credit with every 100 square feet of flooring you purchase. And buy it all with free financing for up to 2 years. Save now during the Project Price Drops event at Carpet Weavers.
Let your local farmer's insurance agent Michael Rumsey put his experience to work for you. Michael Rumsey proudly serves Champaign County families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call Michael Rumsey at 217-363-3030 to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's Michael Rumsey at 217-363-3030. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. As much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola. Should say Shauna Green's Illini won easily over Wisconsin. They played last night at State Farm, 92-60 Illinois. Around the Big Ten again, 87-75 Michigan beats Northwestern. Other Big Ten scores last night. Iowa loses at Maryland 77-70. Ohio State holds on, beats USC 89-82. And Penn State goes out to Washington. Penn State beats Washington at Washington. Washington was a 15-point favorite, and they lost 63-60. Toward the bottom of the Big Ten there. All Big Ten teams will be in the Big Ten tournament. They start on Tuesday. That's a long week if you're the 18th team in the Big Ten. That'll be coming up. All right, bros. Brett Bielema introduced his new defensive coordinator. Don't know if you saw this or not. But Bobby Houck, and here's host and talk show guru now, Brett Bielema.
Well, Bobby, welcome to Illinois. Super excited to have you here.
Thanks, Coach. Good to be here, man.
I think about this journey, right? So I think we first competed against each other when I was a head coach at Wisconsin. You were at UNLV in 2010, probably. Obviously, that's when we first met, but then obviously shared ties on the AFCA board. Fellow head coaches, I know you stepped away after UNLV, and that's kind of what the birth of today is, right? The chance for you to go to San Diego State and learn this defense. Can you tell me how that started?
Well, I've been a head coach 20 of the last 23 years, and for me, defense has always been kind of the passion, even though I've been involved in the other two phases. And this defense was always intriguing to me. I coached against it, watched the offensive coaches struggle year in, year out. So I wanted to learn it. I love defensive football, and this is the most fun defense I've ever coached.
If I could sum up to the fans out there, right, like we've been traditionally a 3-down. We run a lot of 3-3-5 ourselves, right, but it was a different configuration, different philosophy. Maybe in a short nutshell, kind of envision what we've talked about and what you think Illinois can have here moving forward in this system.
I like this part. He talks about, you don't have to be a left defensive, end. You can be, it's more flexible.
Well, I'm excited to say this to the players as well as, people who watch football, they like the excitement of it, and a lot of that means the offensive side of the ball. And my impression is defense can be exciting too. And this is an aggressive attacking defense. It started way back with a fella named Jolie Dunn. He taught it to Rocky Long, and Rocky's taught it to some of us that have worked for him, studied it for many years. And this will be an aggressive, attacking, exciting defense to watch.
Bobby, one of the things I've always said as a head coach, right, like we all recruit, we all develop, right, but every year the player strengths kind of change and adjust according to who leaves and who comes back, right? And I've always said good coaches take advantage of the strengths and minimize the weakness of their players, and that's what's intrigued me with your defense, right? The evolution that you've seen it go through just to play to the strengths and how that strength may change year to year based on players.
Listen to this.
Going down and meeting the players this morning and being able to see the body types and watch them move around and all that. The best thing about this defense is it's malleable. It's got a lot of flexibility. You can use a lot of different tools that guys have. It allows you to recruit great athletes and then plug them in and let them go. Kind of the NFL model that we all grew up with. You had certain guys and certain body types at different positions. This defense allows players to go and do things that they do well. The coverage structure changes with the game plan, but the front calls and the movement piece are all based on what your players on your team do best.
Well, I'll play more of this later. I love that. Anybody remember Simeon Rice? He played for Illinois in the 90s? And Simeon was a guy that you couldn't chart because he'd be over here and then he'd be over here. He was just an athlete that just ran everywhere and could do it. So sometimes they'll be really good athletes, but you're not sure where they fit in. Sounds like this defense can take a really, really good athlete, and if they're disciplined, they can learn how the defense works and where you're supposed to go and where you're not supposed to go. And if you're more flexible and all of a sudden you're playing safety when you were, up rushing the quarterback, there are a lot of great athletes that don't have a, quote, spot on a defense. Maybe this will allow that. And you got to go get the athletes. Devin Weatherspoon came to Illinois as a 0-star athlete. Is he, a walk-on or something? And then he eventually becomes a star for the Seattle Seahawks. They're calling him a walk-in Hall of Famer. So and he's an athlete. Totally. So go get me a bunch of athletes and make it exciting, Bobby Houck. That's your new defensive coordinator for the Fighting Illini. And I think there's definitely... We don't know this guy from Adam. He's got a great resume, been very successful, 61 years old. And we know that we didn't stop a lot of people in our defense last year. So I'd love to see a shutdown defense. Wouldn't that be fun? All right, we'll be back. We got John Decker coming up next. It is Thursday, February 12, 2026. Back with the news next. Here's what somebody recently said at Pards in Urbana. I was there just a few minutes, and somebody came up and asked if I needed help. And they were incredible, helped me find the size of boot I needed, and then I bought a second pair too. Everything was friendly, everything was excellent. Visit Pards in Urbana, 206 North Maple, between Maine and University in Urbana. It's Pards Western Shop since 1968. Or go online and visit pards.com, pards.com.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. She's been missing for a dozen days as law enforcement teaming up in Tucson, hoping to find Nancy Guthrie.
This morning, one of our crew members saw the Pima County forensic team searching Campbell Road, which is a major thoroughfare that leads here into this neighborhood. And then yesterday, also investigators found a black glove about a mile away from Nancy Guthrie's home, also on Campbell Avenue.
Fox's Matt Finn in Tucson, that chilling video from the 84-year-old's front door, producing more than 18,000 tips, that from the Pima County Sheriff. The SAVE Act passes the House. Speaker Mike Johnson on Fox's Hannity.
It ensures that if you're going to register to vote, you have to have proof of citizenship, and when you show up to vote, you have to show a photo ID.
One Democrat, Texas Congressman Henry Cuellar, voted with all the Republicans. The bill faces an uncertain future in the Senate. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, Senator Chapin Rose pushing a new legislative package aimed at addressing energy concerns in central Illinois. Filed a series of 3 bills Friday, which he says are designed to protect consumers and natural resources. Bill aims to prevent Illinoisans from electric bill increases with the addition of consumer rate caps. A month after Gibson City man accused of setting fire to his appointment, his sister arrested as well. The arrest of Roger Leisure December 31st last year. He's accused of setting fire to his apartment building, Schoolhouse Apartments, days prior while his neighbors were still inside. Tuesday, 62-year-old Penny Leisure is a second suspect. One of the Champaign County's most well-known charitable organizations took some time to look back, honor critical people that make their mission possible. The Salvation Army hosting volunteers to recognize them for their accomplishments last year, including Volunteer of the Year, most money raised, and more. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. A real easygoing, mild, midwinter, mid-February weather pattern over the next several days, probably well into next week, and some increased rainfall prospects, maybe a little more drought relief even at this point in the wintertime calendar. Partly sunny for the day today, up around 44. Maybe a sprinkle coming along later this morning into the afternoon. Light south wind, maybe a sprinkle this evening. Partly cloudy, 27 on the overnight. Tomorrow mostly sunny, milder still, up around 50, better than 15 above average. On a light south-southwesterly wind, we'll settle back to about 30 for tomorrow night. Partly sunny for the day on Saturday, still mild, maybe a shower chance late in the day, will high about 51 up to 53, and a sprinkle chance early on Sunday. Then afternoon sunshine. Unseasonably mild south winds pick up with middle and upper 50s Monday and Tuesday, and a slow moving system out of the plains, Gulf moisture and unseasonable warmth with highs around 60 both Wednesday and Thursday. Both days will feature a few rounds of shower activity as well. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
John Decker, John Decker, John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker. He is the one we know. I want to talk to John Decker. He's at the White House in press room.
John Decker, John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker, John Decker. I want to talk to John.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, children in combine singing the theme. He is John Decker, one of the finest journalists in the world. He is working for Gray Television, 100 and some television stations, including WAND in Decatur. So we can actually watch John Decker if you...
How about that?
Yeah, you got it going on. John, how are you?
I'm doing great, Stevie. Hope you're doing well today. Good to be with you, having a good week and all that.
Well, I'm glad you're the White House correspondent. You don't have to go to Arizona like every other reporter. How devastating is to have an 84-year-old woman missing after a dozen days? Just sick.
Yeah, it's such a sad story. I worked with Savannah when she was a White House correspondent, and my heart goes out to her. My prayers go out to her and her entire family. It's just incomprehensible in terms of what, she's going through, her family's going through. I've never heard anything like this before, quite frankly. And so I hope everything gets resolved in a positive way. I think everybody hopes that same thing.
I saw Savannah interviewing Donald Trump, kind of grilling him, kind of really going after him. And here the president calls her, says, the Department of Justice, you have everything I have. That's
Right.
a pretty classy phone call, I thought.
Look, I think that the president has respect for Savannah Guthrie. That's her job. When I think she moderated a town hall with the president, and I think she's always does a phenomenal job as a journalist. When she was in the White House press corps, she too was a lawyer, and I always was impressed by the way that she asked questions at those White House press briefings and asked questions of the president. But more importantly, on a human level, I just hope everything works out well for her and her family, and it's resolved quickly. It's just gone on for too long.
You know what is kind of getting to be pay-per-view when they have these committee hearings and Scott Bessent and Pam Bondi and they show up and talk back? It's like, this just turns into chaos. I reclaim my time, my time.
Yeah, it's not too civilized. At least not yesterday. I didn't see that. My gosh.
Oh, but it was going back. And apparently the Trump people, because I've never seen people kind of shout back until this group.
Right.
So they go right back at him, and it's just it's such theatrics. What do we get out of that?
I don't know. I don't know what you get out of it, other than, like you say, it's like a show. Get the popcorn. Get whatever you eat at the movies. Sit back. I was watching it. I was watching it yesterday. On my computer screen while I was at the White House. Boy, that killed a few hours. That's for sure.
Well,
right?
It's just grown men like me and my onesie jammies I got for Christmas going, yeah, get her, Pam. Get her, Pam. Just like, wow, it's so funny. And
I don't know what happened. You leave that hearing. Is she getting high fives from her team? Are the members of Congress getting high fives from their team? Yeah. It's like just insane.
It's nothing worthwhile ever comes out. Entertainment. That's pretty much what it is. And somebody, the Keith Ellison, Attorney General of Minnesota, that ought to be special. So we'll have to tune into the committee hearing for the Minnesota people. And who knows the fraud that's going on with all that stuff. They're trying to figure all that out. All right, so the president and Benjamin Netanyahu agree to disagree over how to deal with Iran. So how do we deal with Iran? Johnny, you there?
Yeah, I am. I'm sorry about that.
No, just wondered.
The president put out a social media post yesterday after their meeting, which lasted well over 2 hours. And that social media post, you read between the lines, Stevie, and it was one in which I got the impression the president says, let's give diplomacy a chance. Let's see if we can get a nuclear deal. But I have a plan B, and the plan B is military action. So that was what the president put out there. Netanyahu clearly wants regime change, and he wants military action now. And so that's where, they just don't see eye to eye on that. And that's why, like you put it, they just are agreeing to disagree. And we'll see where things go. But the president certainly has a lot of military assets in the region in order to take military action, and he's not afraid to do so. He did it last summer. He did it last June with those strikes on those 3 nuclear sites in Iran.
I just don't know what I obviously know nothing, but I have no idea how you go in and do what you want to do with that. Iran, I would think, would be different than the Iraqi situation. We own that, and I don't know. Really never hear much about Iraq anymore and what they're doing, but Iran's a big deal, and I just don't know how you go in without losing a lot of civilians.
Well, that's exactly right. What is the plan? And then what's the plan for the day after? What does that look like? If you do manage to, meet your strategic goals initially, what are the long-term strategic goals for Iran? And, I think that that's something that the president has and his team have to think their way through. What does that look like? And, I think that's one of the reasons why you want to take your time. There are those that are urging the president to take military action right now, and they're, sometimes criticizing the White House. But, the president does things on his own timetable, and he should have his own timetable. He had his own timetable for Venezuela. A lot of criticism concerning, what the president was not doing in Venezuela. And then January 3rd, a little over a month ago, you see what the president did with that impressive military strike, strikes in Venezuela that removed Nicolas Maduro from power.
It's just that you also, I think, what makes this impossible is that how do you know how many suicide bombers you create by going in there and doing what we'd have to do? I mean, you're going to have that just fire up again more than maybe ever. So it's hard. It's a complicated deal.
It is absolutely. I think that what Netanyahu sometimes doesn't realize is that the U.S. has interest in the region, and Israel, by contrast, is just concerned about Israel, and they should be. It's their security that's at stake. The U.S., however, has bigger issues to think about. What would the impact be on the wider Middle East? What would it be in terms of the U.S. relationship with our Middle East allies beyond Israel? So, I think that the president is going about it, in a way in which it's thoughtful, and he's figuring out what's the best way to deal with Iran. And the way that he, at least publicly, is saying he wants to deal with them for right now is to see whether these talks with Iran leads to anything positive in terms of a nuclear deal.
And that's always been hard because it's hard to verify all that if they're not going to let you in when you want to come look, right? I mean, those are always tough. Really, really hard. Okay, nothing you can say except wow on the jobs report. CNN person was even saying there's just nothing bad here. It's just all good. Haven't heard a lot about it on ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, and some of the others, but it's very positive, isn't it?
Well, that's right. I was interviewing a White House official yesterday. That they were practically banging down my door. Can we do an interview? Right. They wanted to really tout the number: 130,000 jobs created last month. The unemployment rate ticking downward to 4.3%. Strong growth in terms of construction jobs, healthcare jobs. It also means that it's very unlikely that the next time the Federal Reserve meets that they will lower interest rates because they're going to see that this part of the economy, the labor market's pretty strong. But I think that the White House, based upon what I heard yesterday, they think that this is the beginning of a trend that we're going to see over the course of the next few months in terms of strong jobs numbers being reported by the Labor Department.
Yeah, and then, though the Democrats don't really acknowledge it, say the prices have not come down, Donald Trump's a dictator and a Nazi and all these other things, does that still play?
I mean, it certainly plays in, very solidly blue districts. Absolutely, Stevie, you know how divided this country is. But, you also have to recognize when there are economic numbers which show that the economy may be turning around. One thing that strikes me is all of the economists that were saying the president's tariffs policy would lead to huge inflation numbers and more unemployment in the country, and that just hasn't panned out. It's pretty remarkable. The tariffs have led to an increased amount of revenue coming into the U.S. Treasury, and then we see this strong jobs number. And then inflation has been pretty tame. It might be 2.8%. That's pretty impressive. So we'll see. I mean, it's a long-term thing, but I think that things are working out in the short term, certainly for the president.
I'm talking about 360,000 less people working for the federal government. Is that the lowest since the 60s is what I thought I heard in the report?
Well, yeah. I mean, the president says, I could get unemployment down even lower if I just, decided to go on a hiring binge for the federal government. But the president recognizes that's a waste of resources to a certain extent, and he points out that those who have left the federal government, sometimes not on their own accord, are now joining the private sector, and looking for jobs in the private sector. But let's also face it, not everybody feels very comfortable, about this economy. I wouldn't call it just booming. But, it is in a place that I think that the president can certainly take a victory lap after yesterday's employment numbers coming from the Labor Department.
Yeah, but if you're not feeling it, is it real, right? I mean, perceptually...
Yeah, that's right.
That's
always the big issue.
Moving a monolith, it just takes a minute to turn the ship. It
does.
It's a big deal. All right, so the SAVE Act, Triton and Titan voter ID requirements, there's overwhelming evidence that even Democrats, 71%, are all for showing an ID when you vote, proving you're a citizen and eligible to vote. Is the argument that it's repressive and it's Jim Crow 2.0? Is that resonating? Because that's what Chuck Schumer says.
I think that is an insult, when you say things like that. And Chuck Schumer has said that's the phrase that he uses. I mean, Jim Crow laws. Come on, comparing this to Jim Crow laws, I think that's a big stretch. But as far as the politics of it are concerned, yes, it passed the House yesterday. Now it goes over to the Senate, but there aren't enough votes in the U.S. Senate to pass it. You need 60 procedurally to pass it, and you're not getting there. You're at 53. You're stuck at 53. And so as a result, this particular piece of legislation will likely languish in the U.S. Senate. That's just, the politics of it all.
Well, I think there's been a lot of talk about scrapping the filibuster, and I think, honestly, I think it's going away, whether the Republicans do it, Democrats, somebody's going to do it. I see that coming.
Yeah, I don't know. Republicans, including the leadership, John Thune, they're always concerned about what happens when the shoe's on the other foot, what happens if Democrats control it. You may recall Democrats tried to do away with the filibuster, but there were, I believe, 2 Senate, maybe 3, but certainly Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin that said, no, we're not voting to do away with a filibuster. If not for those 2 Democratic members, then Democrats, when they control the Senate, would have done away with a filibuster. So, this is something that the president has been putting a lot of pressure on John Thune, the majority leader, to do, but he really has been very firm in rebuffing the president on this particular issue.
Well, I think if you don't need 60, then you can count Puerto Rico as and Washington D.C. as 2 new senators for each place. I mean, you're gonna have 4 new Democratic senators, right? I mean, you stack the Supreme Court with 51 votes in the Senate. I see the value of it. It can be frustrating, but we've kind of set it up that way to try and negotiate and stuff. But we just haven't had a lot of that going on. I think there's a lot of pressure on Democrats if they don't toe the line. I know the same is for the Republicans, but there's still a few Republicans out there that'll wander. So
yeah, look, as it relates to that vote on that took place yesterday on another House resolution. This was a resolution showing the disapproval of the president's tariffs on Canada. You had 6 House Republicans voting with every House Democrat on that measure. It now goes over to the Senate. And on that measure, you just need a simple majority because of the way that bill is structured. And it will pass the Senate. But once it gets to President Trump's desk for a signature, he'll veto it. And there are not enough votes in either the House or the Senate to override the presidential veto.
Kind of like lottery numbers. I need to know daily, what's the new tariff on Canada? What's the number? I don't know that.
Yeah, well, we know that there's going to be a resolution also that will be voted on in the House concerning the tariffs on Brazil. And that, too, is going to have likely the same type of ultimate vote count that we saw yesterday in the House, in which you have 6 House Republicans voting for that measure as well. So I think the president is really angered by this because these votes are happening before the Supreme Court has weighed in on whether the president's tariffs policy, the way he's carried it out, is legal. And I think this shows there's no unanimity in the Republican Party on this. And, look, with the president's domestic agenda very much dependent on those tariffs, he's concerned that the Supreme Court will, when they come out with their decision, rule against him and this reciprocal tariff policy that the president has carried out.
What is the delay, do you think, from the Supreme Court on this?
I do not know. I mean, that's, it's just reading tea leaves to a certain extent. I don't know what the delay is. I would have guessed that it would have come out literally by the end of 2025. Just a quick turnaround. And we haven't seen that. Here we are, February. Potentially they could wait until the end of their term, which is the end of June. Alternatively, they could, any day now, any week now. So we'll just have to wait and see. I think you may recall I was in the Supreme Court for that case, for those oral arguments. And, in reading the tea leaves based upon the questions that were being asked, I felt that the Supreme Court was going to rule against the president on this issue.
Wow. Well, wouldn't that be massively disruptive for his strategy?
It would be, but it's important to remember, if the Supreme Court rules against the president on this case, it doesn't do away with all of the president's tariffs. Tariffs on imported steel, Stevie, and imported aluminum, they will remain in place because the president relied on a different law to impose those tariffs. And it doesn't mean that the president can impose tariffs going forward if the Supreme Court rules against him. It would mean that he would need to get buy-in from Congress on those tariffs as well. So, I think that that's an important element to keep in mind. That's the plan B for the president if he loses at the Supreme Court.
Why is he so versed? He's the only lawyer on press row, ladies and gentlemen. 30 years a White House correspondent. How does he do it? Any other fun things planned in your life in the future here, short time?
We're going to, I'll tell you one fun thing. What's today? Today is February
12th.
Tell me the date.
Lincoln.
Yep.
Lincoln's birthday.
There you go. Lincoln, I think the best president, kept our country together, unbelievable. And a proud person who would call Illinois his home.
Land of Lincoln
right?
on the plate. Yeah,
there you go. Land of Lincoln.
Yeah.
But 1 month from now exactly will be my 20th wedding, our 20th wedding anniversary. And we're going to go to Arizona where we got married. We're going to be in Paradise Valley.
Yeah.
And we'll have a nice wedding anniversary out there. So looking forward to that.
Flying
That's
into
the next trip.
Sky Harbor, a big old airport.
Yeah,
you have to take a bus to go get a rental car. That's how big that place is.
I know. I don't like that part.
Well, go to Glendale. You can see my son-in-law play a little baseball. He signed with the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah.
So you can see Jacob.
And good for him.
Gracie
That's
and Hallie.
awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, John Decker, great work.
Yeah.
I'm going to congratulations on 20 years of wedded bliss. That's awesome. That's really great.
Thank you very much, Stevie. Appreciate it. We got 20 years this year of that. We got 30 years covering the White House. I got an anniversary of 30 years in the House chamber for the State of the Union address, also coming up. That's February the 24th. So
in some ways,
momentous year.
In some ways, and don't take this improperly, you're like a dog where the owner comes home and you're excited for the first time to see your owner.
Yeah.
When you go into all the Capitol and the White House, you're still appreciative. You're still fired up.
Oh, I am.
I think that's unusual.
Fired.
I think you still look around and the mopes around you. They're not happy. They're mad about this. I should be getting more per diem. I mean, there's all stuff going on. You're ready to go, man. You're ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I have not heard the word mopes in such a long time. I love that you use the word mopes. They are mopes. I agree with you 100%.
Well, you look around them. You're looking attentively up, ready to get your chance. The others are looking around. When are we out of here, right? I mean, it's just like,
I agree.
Way to go. Way to not be a mope, John Decker.
Okay.
Ace.
That's right.
Hey, listen, thanks for the time. As always, we'll call you next week.
Thanks, Stevie. Have a great day, great weekend. We'll talk next week for sure.
John, you bet. John Decker, great television's White House correspondent, national correspondent, always on Thursdays. Yeah, we first met him when he was in a radio cubby for Fox. And then I wrote the theme. I think some of you like the theme more than John Decker. No, you like John Decker. And we are. It's February already. I would love to have him coming to town for a home football game. And, and like I don't know, some sort of chance to meet him, answer questions, stuff like that. I think a lot of you would be very interested in that. See if we can arrange something for the fall with John Decker maybe making a market visit. It'd be really cool. All right, going to check Greg's weather coming up, 7:54. It's Thursday. It is Abe Lincoln's birthday. I do have a little more of the interview from Brett Bielema, head football coach, and his new defensive coordinator, Bobby Houck. I'll play some of that in the next hour. Also, our pitmaster extraordinaire, Tim Onstott's in the house. That will be coming up in a few Abraham Lincoln trivia questions also your way. Greg's weather next.
Wouldn't it be nice to visit a car dealership where you didn't feel like you were at an auction? Or didn't feel like you were being taken to the cleaners?
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Welcome to Sarah Champagne. At Sarah, they offer a one-price promise. Every vehicle at a fair price, no negotiation, only the best price. Sarah Champagne, Honda, BMW, GMC, Buick, and Subaru. SERRA Champagne.com.
Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery makes it easy to start your new flooring project. Right now, you'll find project price drops on floors store-wide. First, get an instant $100 off every $1,000 you spend on flooring. Find price drops on carpet, luxury vinyl, hardwood, and more. Then get a $50 labor credit with every 100 square feet of flooring you purchase. And buy it all with free financing for up to 2 years. Save now during the Project Price Drops event at Carpet Weavers.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning. Do you have your sewer line cleaned every year? Are you constantly getting roots or blockages? Why deal with that headache year after year? Call Land's Drain Cleaning today at 217-355-5512 to have our expert staff come out, clean your line. We give you a free camera inspection, show you what's wrong, where it's at, and then we can offer you a repair for that problem so you don't have to deal with it again. Land's Drain Cleaning. Why call anyone else?
Your next adventure starts right here. Fly Champaign-Urbana and skip the long drive to bigger airports. With American Airlines flights through Dallas and Chicago, you're connected to coastlines, cruises, and global escapes. With connections to over 200 destinations. From here, the world is within reach. Fly Champaign-Urbana, Willard Airport, because the best trips start closer to home.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. A real easy-going, mild, mid-winter, mid-February weather pattern over the next several days, probably well into next week, and some increased rainfall prospects, maybe a little more drought relief even at this point in the wintertime calendar. Partly sunny for the day today, up around 44. Maybe a sprinkle coming along later this morning into the afternoon. Light south wind, maybe a sprinkle this evening. Partly cloudy, 27 on the overnight. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, milder still, up around 50, better than 15 above average. On a light south-southwesterly wind, we'll settle back to about 30 for tomorrow night. Partly sunny for the day on Saturday, still mild, maybe a shower chance late in the day, with a high about 51, up to 53, and a sprinkle chance early on Sunday, then afternoon sunshine. Unseasonably mild, south winds pick up with middle and upper 50s Monday and Tuesday, and a slow-moving system out of the plains, Gulf moisture, and unseasonable warmth with highs around 60 both Wednesday and Thursday. Both days will feature a few rounds of shower activity as well. For CVT Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Here's a tip for your next flooring project. Bring your photos to the new showroom at Flooring Surfaces. Our dedicated team can design an incredible look using a showroom filled with the latest fashions and innovations in floor covering, colorful ceramic tiles, performance vinyls, large format porcelains, fine wool carpets. If you saw it on your phone, make it a reality at Flooring Surfaces. Just call 217-398-1990 to schedule your design consultation today.
Flooring Surfaces, your first stop.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
What is most important in your life? This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Provident Financial Group is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services. Investment advisory services offered through Raymond James Financial Service Advisors, Inc.
All right, Landon Lincoln, we need a few Lincoln questions. We'll do that coming up. Also, we have Tim Onstadt, pitmaster extraordinaire, Gelferix Trucking and Dedicated Diesel. We'll do some of that. And also, Ellen Hook's going to drop by from Ashley Furniture. They'll have a big furniture President's Day sale. So we'll brief you on all of those good things. I'm Stevie J. Diane's back tomorrow. Be good to have her back. She's enjoyed some time down in Florida and the nice weather that is Florida pretty much all year. It got pretty cold, and the iguanas are falling out of trees, the big old lizards. You know that they exterminated 5,614 iguanas. Down in Florida, they're a big thing, and they're invasive. They don't want them. And they were just dropping trees, but they looked dead, and they weren't. They just can't move when it's really, really cold. So they did get some of that done down in Florida, FYI. All right, going to break for the news and be right back on this February 12. It is Thursday. The Illini getting ready to play Indiana Sunday at noon is the next game for our Fighting Illini. All right, time for the news at 8 o'clock. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Still no suspect or person of interest in the search for Nancy Guthrie. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and on day 12, Fox's Matt Finn reports from Tucson, Arizona.
Agents are scouring the area around Nancy's home here and also her daughter Annie's house. So this morning, one of our crew members saw the Pima County forensic team searching Campbell Road, which is a major thoroughfare that leads here into this neighborhood. And then yesterday, also investigators found a black glove about a mile away from Nancy Guthrie's home. The glove could ultimately offer critical DNA evidence.
The man in video footage released Tuesday was wearing black gloves at the Guthrie home around the time the 84-year-old was kidnapped. A hearing about to start in the Senate focused on controversial immigration enforcement in Minnesota that could have Democrats again sparring with ICE's acting director. As the U.S. military continues to patrol off the South American coast where suspected drug trafficking boats have been blown up the past 5 months, two American Navy ships collide.
The guided missile destroyer USS Truxtun and the supply-class fast combat support ship USNS Supply collided Wednesday afternoon during a replenishment at sea when ships sail side by side to transfer fuel and supplies. U.S. Southern Command says 2 people suffered minor injuries and are in stable condition, and both ships remain safe to continue operations. The cause is under investigation.
That's Fox's Matt Murphy. Ukraine has bombed a Russian military storage site containing missiles and weapons and attacked an oil refinery, while another Russian barrage overnight hit several cities in Ukraine, including the capital, Kyiv. An athlete from Ukraine who took a stand against the war was disqualified today at the Winter Olympics.
Vladislav Heraskevich was considered a medal contender in the skeleton event, but the International Olympic Committee president, who was waiting for him at the start of the course, told him he has to leave the games in northern Italy. His specially designed helmet displayed images of Ukrainian athletes killed as a result of Russia's invasion.
That's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
Are you a fraud-paying American? 1 in 4 tax-paying Americans have been victim of identity fraud. With LifeLock, your identity, if it's stolen, they fix it guaranteed or your money back. And last year, billions in refunds were stolen. Could be from your salary, overtime, or second job. Gone. But this year, you don't need to stay a victim. Because this tax season, fraud-paying American is something no American should have to claim. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms do apply.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Another veiled threat to Iran after Israel's prime minister went to the White House for talks.
President Trump says nothing definitive was reached other than his insistence that negotiations with Iran continue to see whether or not a deal can be consummated. Wednesday's visit marked Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's 7th with President Trump since the start of his second term, coming as the Trump administration is negotiating a potential deal for Iran to abandon its nuclear program. Israel's leader has pushed for those talks to expand and cover Iran's ballistic missiles and support for terror groups. President Trump, posting on Truth Social, warns if a deal cannot be made, we will have to see what the outcome will be, noting last year's U.S. airstrikes on Iran's nuclear sites. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Actor James Van Der Beek has died, best known for Dawson's Creek on TV.
Last year you had the opportunity to go to Paris and study, and because of me you didn't.
Listen, that wasn't your fault.
Yes, it was my fault, because I should have made you go.
He was only 48 and had been battling colorectal cancer.
Tributes to the beloved actor have been pouring in from friends and former co-stars, including this from Katie Holmes, posting, quote, "I formed some words with heavy heart. This is a lot to process. I am so grateful to have shared in a piece of James's journey. he's beloved. Friends of Vanderbeek's family have also set up a GoFundMe campaign to help support his family, who they say are out of money and struggling after the cost of the medical bill.
Fox's Chanley Painter. We just got an unemployment update. First-time claims dropped slightly last week, down to 227,000. There was a slight increase in the number of people continuing to collect jobless benefits, 1.86 million. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising before the opening bell. We mentioned the Olympics. The U.S. is tied for second in the medal count now with 13. We just got bronze in the women's cross country. Italy is in the lead. And today, the American men's hockey team, filled with NHL players, has its first game against Latvia. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. One of the Champaign County's most well-known charitable organizations took some time to look back, honor critical people that make their mission possible. The Salvation Army hosting volunteers to recognize them for their accomplishments last year, including Volunteer of the Year, most money raised, and more. Well, Senator Chapin Rose pushing a new legislative package aimed at addressing energy concerns in central Illinois. Filed a series of 3 bills Friday, which he says are designed to protect consumers and natural resources. Bill aims to prevent Illinoisans from electric bill increases with the addition of consumer rate caps. A month after a Gibson City man accused of setting fire to his appointment, his sister arrested as well. The arrest of Roger Leisure December 31st last year. He's accused of setting fire to his apartment building, Schoolhouse Apartments, days prior while his neighbors were still inside. Tuesday, 62-year-old Penny Leisure is a second suspect. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. Just thinking a little about Abraham Lincoln. It is February 12th. We have a President's Weekend.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so he was huge. Lincoln was, I mean, for the 1800s, for the average male height in the 1860s, about 5'7", average.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Lincoln, remember Steve?
Well over 6 foot, right?
Remember he was 6'4", and average male height today has only gone up to about 5'9". Lincoln was 8 or 9 inches taller than the average man of his time. Remember Stephen A. Douglas? Didn't he debate him a number of times? Stephen A.
Probably had to put him on some crates or something.
Well,
right?
he was I think he was really short. Lincoln's height would feel like 6'5", 6'6" today, I guess. So. So him walking around at that time, gawkish kind of thing, would have been very noticeable, and him on a horse would have been very tall. So, but he was a man of integrity and took us through the really bad time of the Civil War. But
a wordsmith as well.
Yeah, he was. Well, he had.
Think about it.
Well, his nickname was.
The Great Emancipator, right?
Well, he's the Emancipation Proclamation guy, but they call this was actually he was a young store clerk, and he had a reputation for honesty, so they called him Honest Abe.
Honest Abe.
Yeah. And he did. This is unusual. Before becoming president, what unusual license did Abraham Lincoln hold that made him one of the few U.S. presidents qualified for this profession? I shall get to that answer and let Greg know that right after he's done with this. It's our
okay. I'll stick around.
Just stay for the answer, because this is I wouldn't have guessed for that. I wouldn't have guessed this. Here you go. Weather
professional license. The only president to hold this particular.
Yeah, he was qualified to do. I don't think you need it anymore to do this work, but back then you needed a license to do this work. I shall tell you.
You don't need the license now, but back then you did.
No, I do not believe you need a little training, but I don't think you need a license. It's our meteorologist, Barbara. Barbara is not correct, but that's right down. Good thought. That's a very good thought.
Let's just check that off. Okay, we gave people a little help there. So,
all right, sir. We love the weather. Tell me what you see.
Readings out there when we ought to be somewhere in the mid-30s this time of the year, so off and running on a pretty good note there. Already the mid-level cloud is thickening, increasing across the area, and radar is suggesting something's trying to come out of it from about Springfield, Jacksonville, back into parts of southeast Iowa. That will be perhaps the flurry that maybe gets going well west of us this morning, and later this morning in the afternoon, perhaps a couple of sprinkles coming along. And that's it for that particular system. Another one stays primarily to the south with some welcome rains down through Brother Jarney's place in the southeast
eastern states with dryness and drought there, but those systems will swing from Southern California, the desert southwest, up in our general neck of the woods and envelop the area with a very mild March-like go of it and some rain in the forecast. So if we can kind of soften up the grounds a little bit, get a little absorption, there you go with maybe at least some start to some drought relief going forward. A little on a backward orientation to it, but it is what it is. We'll get the moisture going here, even it is winter time. Up to 44 today, a partly sunny sky between the mid-level cloud and maybe a sprinkle coming along late this morning or this afternoon. Overnight lows tonight with a sprinkle this evening and clouds breaking to 27. Sunshine, milder tomorrow, light south wind in 50, 30 tomorrow night and 51 on Saturday. There may be another stray shower from Champaign on southward. Late Saturday into early Sunday, a couple of sprinkles and sun comes back, and so do temperatures up past 50 degrees, mid and upper 50s. Monday and Tuesday, we might be flirting with some record and near record setting warmth. Wednesday, Thursday next week with daytime temperatures right around or a hair north of 60 degrees and some rain in the forecast as well. For STVJ Broadcasting, I'm just Greg Solgay.
Yeah, our pitmaster Tim Onstott's jumped in our studio, Greg, so you remember him and his delightful.
Oh, nice, excellent.
Oh, boy, yeah. We want a grazing.
Did he bring samples with him?
No, but we want another grazing opportunity like Brother Johnny taught me.
Yes, that's what it was between the four of us.
Yeah, grazing. Okay, so the question is, before becoming president, what unusual license did Abraham Lincoln hold that made him one of the few U.S. presidents qualified for this profession? The answer is bartender.
A bartender.
He was a bartender, actually co-owned a tavern in New Salem, Illinois. I wonder if the building still stands.
Where that's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Salem we know, but I don't know if the building I doubt it. That's 1840. I doubt if there's any building in New Salem.
Oh, you never know. I'm sure there's some landmark status stuff around there somehow.
Yeah, we probably think so. Anyway, so there you go.
So in order to serve a cold one, you had to have a license.
I guess so. I don't think you need that anymore. I don't think there's any bartender license test that I know of.
Not in Illinois. I think
if you were
Indiana,
a brilliant,
Indiana?
Somebody in general,
Indiana
a
has
brilliant
to have a license.
marketing person and advertising, and try to parlay that into a Super Bowl ad, with a beverage that they tout out there, and get Abe Lincoln and a license and somehow work that all in together to be a genius.
Well, there you go, because there's a lot of Lincoln impersonators who look kind of tall and got that beard going on. So, all right, sir. Thank you, Greg.
Abe and Elvis running around out there.
There you go. That's right. Thank you. It's Greg Sawyer, excellent meteorologist. Yeah, so you think Indiana, you have to take a test. Now, on the cruise ship, we had the bartenders doing the Tom Cruise thing, whatever movie that was, throwing things around and
Cocktail. That was
the Cocktail
movie.
Was the movie. Yeah. Anyway, they have the guys flipping things and making all kinds of stuff. So at that level, but yeah. Anyway, that was something Lincoln had. Also, Abraham Lincoln, the only U.S. president to hold a patent.
For what?
The invention, 1849, a device to lift boats over shallow water and shoals using inflatable flotation chambers. How about that one? And because of his reputation as a young store clerk, Honest Abe is how he got that nickname. He did create a national holiday in 1863. Does anybody know what that is? Thanksgiving. He proclaimed it a national day of Thanksgiving in 1863, the fourth Thursday of every November. And on the night he was assassinated, he was watching a play. Does anybody remember the name of the play? It was Ford's Theater. And the play was called Our American Cousin. And that's where John Wilkes Booth opened the door to the president and the first lady's balcony with no guard. The guard had left.
Well, Stevie, after John Decker and Greg Sollier, you certainly turned down the intelligence of the show, bringing me on here early. Yeah,
well, you were 6'4" before we all started shrinking, weren't you? You could kind of be with Abe Lincoln.
I think some program may have listed me at 6'3". I don't think I ever got to 6'4".
Anyway, good to talk to Tim Onstott at Gale Furrick Trucking. We appreciate him running around. You've been hanging out in Urbana, I guess, for a little while. Getting dedicated diesel up to where you want it to be and everything, all the things, because you guys have kind of gone heavy into testing semis. I mean, that's an important job to make sure that the thing is safe.
Testing semis, concrete trucks, things like that. We're doing the federal inspections.
What do you have to check? What does the federal government require?
Oh, lights, brakes, tires,
all working.
Exhaust systems. Yeah. If you have a light on a truck, it has to work.
Okay.
And so we make sure of that. And steering systems, make sure everything's tight and in good shape there.
What's an 18-wheeler weigh loaded up?
80,000 pounds.
Oh, my gosh.
Completely loaded. Yep.
it'll be 80,000. Most of them probably run around average 65 to 75.
How fast can you go in a semi truck? 70? Is that
you trying
interstate?
to set me up here?
No, I'm just curious. I think it's 70, but I think you can monitor speed now, right?
The speed limit's 70. Yeah, we and you can set the trucks up in the computers to be able to limit what you're running at.
So if you what is annoying in this modern day is that these two semis are trying to pass each other, and it takes 10 minutes to pass them because they don't want to go too fast.
Yeah, there's a mechanism in the trucks, in the computers, that we can set where we can give drivers like 3 extra miles an hour for 15 minutes a day.
Okay.
So they can bump that up to 73 to not be in that situation, not impede traffic. But normally we're setting the cruise control at a slightly lower or a slightly higher speed, and then manual control slightly lower with the bump up to pass feature.
Okay. Because I was actually from Champaign to Tuscola, maybe even, it was 20 minutes, couldn't get by. And I'm going, that doesn't feel safe.
Yeah.
But that's just going to happen if you're about the same speed. What are the biggest challenges? Do you get a lot different mileage per gallon at 70 versus 77?
Oh yeah. The mileage difference at that range will be a lot greater. You're looking at 1 to 2% per mile an hour over 65 that you're going.
Wow. So if I go 50, I'll get a lot more usage of gas. But I also wonder, do I get 3 miles a gallon?
Well, there's a power band in the gearing where you're optimizing the speed limit or the miles per gallon, and that's in that gear, top gear, you're looking at probably 65 is your optimal speed to run in that.
And how many miles a gallon maybe in an average loaded semi?
We've went up from maybe 6.2 to 6.4 average up into the 7s, and we've got trucks running in the low 8s.
I did not. That's way better than it used to be, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's a lot better.
Is that because the diesel?
It's because of the gearing and the automatic transmissions, how the trucks are set up to run, the engineering in them, and all the aerodynamics.
And the rigs today are nothing like the rigs from 1960. We got real fancy trucks now, right?
Yeah, they're like driving a luxury pickup, actually.
Really? And you never have those self-drive, but would they ever get to that point in trucking?
They're trying it, and there are places that have experimented with it and do it.
It was 80,000 pounds, man.
Yeah,
you can't make a mistake on that.
Yeah, I don't see it happening on a large scale. Maybe some regionalized stuff, but I don't see it happening large scale.
And not to get too political, but there are people getting licenses that probably shouldn't be able to get them, right?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that going on. The U.S. DOT, I think, pulled 5,000 off the road last week, or did 5,000 checks and had like 1,280 that were illegal and pulled those licenses.
But don't they still have to go through the testing and all the things you have to do?
Well, there are schools that are cheating that system.
Really?
That DOT is shutting down now. Just last week over in Jay, Indiana, illegal immigrant with a illegal license from Pennsylvania had a crash and killed 4 people. And
it's just too dangerous to do that. It just can't.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that they're really cracking down on. There's a regulation in the rule book that's been in since 1937 that a person has to be able to communicate in English, read and write in English, and communicate with law enforcement in English. And in the last month or two, U.S. DOT has really been cracking down on that, been trying to test people. And if they can't, they've been pulling them off the road, putting them out of service.
But they know that. They just didn't bother really enforcing that because somebody can't really speak English.
Right. They haven't been enforcing it, and luckily now we are. And really, when you allow that to happen, it cheapens the industry. It cheapens the rates because they'll come in and do a load for next to nothing, and then send that money that they make home, and it's worth a lot more in foreign countries than it is here.
That's just an area that's just too dangerous to even try that. All right, we're going to be right back. Tim Onsett will have his feature coming up on our smoke show. I'm going to play the rest of the Brett Bielema with his new defensive coordinator, Bobby Houck. Stand by for that. 8:19, here's Greg.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Very quiet, mild weather pattern going forward for the next couple of days. A little drabble of moisture here and there. Signs of a wetter weather pattern getting going. Maybe some drought relief expected into the second half of next week. Other than that, a couple of sprinkles will come along later this morning and into the afternoon. Partly sunny skies in between up to about 44. Lightest of a south-southwesterly wind for tonight. Maybe a sprinkle this evening. Partly cloudy overnight down to 27. Light southwest to south wind. Milder still tomorrow. Mostly sunny, the high around 50 and a southwest breeze will bottom out near 30 for tomorrow night. Then on Saturday, partly sunny, still mild, the high around 51. Slim chance for a shower late in the day. That'll carry into a couple of sprinkles early Sunday, then becoming partly cloudy up to 53 there. Highs in the middle and upper 50s as south winds take hold for Monday and Tuesday into the lower 60s Wednesday and Thursday. Showers, a couple of thunderstorms expected for the morning and afternoon hours of both days. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's another report suggesting the labor market is holding steady. Fewer people filed for unemployment benefits at the start of February. The number of new claims declined by 5,000 to 227,000 in the week ending February 7th. Claims have been holding in a range, suggesting many employers have not been conducting large-scale layoffs. The number of continuing claims for the week ending January 31st rose by 21,000 to 1.86 million, so more people remained on unemployment. Cisco Systems shares are sinking, down more than 7%. Earnings and revenue were upbeat. However, investors are concerned about Cisco's spending. Business held up better than expected in recent months for Budweiser's parent company, Anheuser-Busch InBev. The stock is rallying. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
From around the world,
Trey Yingst joining us from Tel Aviv, Israel.
To Washington,
I'm Mike Emanuel.
To your own backyard. If a story impacts you or your wallet, we're on it. It's the Fox News Rundown. We give every story the deeper look it deserves with must-listen interviews and smart analysis from the voices you can trust. Start your day with the Fox News Rundown. Listen and follow now at foxnewsrundown.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Jesse with Lands Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Hey, do you have sewer blockages, problems? Are your toilets gurgling? Why deal with the headache? Call Lands Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions today. We can come out and clean your line, camera it, show you what the problem is, and then we have an expert underground team that can make those repairs. 217-355-5512. We are here for you when you need us. Lands Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Talk about the quality you get at Ashley Home Store.
We have one of the most amazing brands. We are quality first, and because we are the largest producer of furniture in North America, we have to produce at the highest standard. The most vertically integrated furniture company in the world.
When you go to Ashley Furniture, the selection?
We have a lot of furniture that's available by Ashley in our stores, and here in Champaign, we have one of our largest showrooms, so we have all the categories: living room, bedroom, dining, mattress, home office, kids, furniture, you name it. Our website is ashley.com.
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to thenateevansgroup.com.
The great loud venues in college basketball.
Don't miss your chance to cheer on Fighting Illini basketball this season.
Back, this place an absolute powder.
It is. Talk about tough buildings, right?
We need all of Illini Nation to help us defend State Farm Center.
Boswell left hand and one.
Great seat locations are still available for you to see Illinois basketball live this season. Get your tickets today at fightingillini.com.
All right, 823, Brett Bielema talking to Bobby Hauck, his new defensive coordinator at the University of Illinois football program. And Bobby's happy to be here.
Just a chance to be at Illinois in the Big Ten Conference and working for you is that's a winner for Bobby Hauck.
You know, I find this interesting, right? So we've known each other for a long time. When I saw your wife at the convention, Stacy made reference to in our younger years how we spent time together. And one of the things that's been awesome for me, I know your son played for you at Montana, to have your wife from there as well, right? And the selling point that I tried to use in the stretch here was, I know you have 3 daughters in Dallas. We got direct flights from Champaign to Dallas every day. Can you talk to me about your family and what it means, to have them with you on this journey?
Yeah, as you know, it's everything. Your kids are a little younger than mine are.
We did it in reverse order.
Yeah, exactly. But it's as you know, Stacy, and from your own experience, having a good partner in that makes everything good. It's really an interesting thing for me to leave home. I mean, I'm a third generation alum of that university, but change is good. You can't do it forever, and coming here and having the family all be on board with that was really a big deal. This is a family place. It's the atmosphere in this building screams family, from the players to whoever I've met so far, and it's just a great opportunity to join a different family.
I was going to ask, same question, 2 different perspectives, right? I'm a player in the system that Bobby Houck and the defense staff is going to run here at the University of Illinois. What's one thing I'll be able to take away beyond football in the Bobby Houck defense?
Well, you're going to learn several things. You're going to learn work ethic. You're going to learn toughness. You're going to learn to persist when you've got adversity and to fight through things. And I think that those are all traits that we in college football develop. But in this defense, I mean, our guys are going to learn to be relentless. We're going to chase the ball. Our pursuit will be nonstop. We're going to play every play like it's the most important play of the game. We're going to finish every play. And then, you and I watch a lot of ball at all levels, from high school to pro football. Tackling won't be a lost art at Illinois. We are going to be a good tackling football team.
Same question, kind of different view. I'm a fan. I'm at the University of Illinois, so we've won more games here in the last 2 years than any time in program history. We've put together 6 straight semesters over a 3.0 GPA. We've done a lot of good things on and off the field. What, as a fan, will I be able to appreciate about watching our defense?
I think you'll love watching how our defensive guys play together, and the passion and excitement they have for the game and for each other making a play. We're going to be excited about making plays for the Illini.
I would also say, in addition to your scheme things and what we've talked about, one of the things that really gathered my interest to you as I've watched your career advance, like you've been in the playoffs now 13 times, right? The last several years we've been knocking on the door, but we want to knock that door open, right? And can you tell me some of the experiences you've had in the playoff runs that can help you as we move forward here?
Yeah, well, we have to do it. It's fun. Playoff football is great. Everybody involved will be excited about it. It's interesting how the mindset changes. You get through the conference schedule and you're doing all that work every week to get there, and then it's win or go home attitude. It's really a fun, exciting time, and it's always about it survive and advance. It's kind of like the NCAA basketball tournament in that regard. Never anything wrong with being in a playoff game.
I think a great story that some of the Illini fans might enjoy. So a year ago, I reached out to you. I was looking for a special teams assistant. I reached out to you about your son, right? And he turned me down a year ago, went to Portland State, right? And you and I talked at that time like, I wish he'd come here, right, as we go forward. So when this began to evolve, I was trying to reach out to you. I guess it was Friday or Saturday last week, and I couldn't reach you. And the phone kept going to voicemail, and I'm like, man, I got to get a hold of this guy. I'm trying to see if I can get him in here on flight on Monday. And I called Robbie, and Robbie's like, Coach, he's being one of those old retired football coaches. He's at his favorite fly fishing hole, and you can't get reception wherever that was. Where was that at, and what were you doing?
So I was up Rock Creek in Montana. It's about 45 minutes from the university. I was with my brother. And the best thing about a lot of those good fishing spots is there's no cell phone service. So I had a good day of that, and then ended up getting a hold of you and found out it was time to go to work.
Well, I think it's awesome because we don't have much fly fishing in Illinois, but we do have a lot of bluegills, some crappies, and some
It's
other
all
fish.
good, man. Fishing's fishing.
I think people will be lining up to take you fishing.
Sounds good.
That's Brett Bielema talking to his new defensive coordinator. Yeah, a little fly fishing. I fly fish at Kaufman Lake, Tim, don't you? Everybody fly fishes at Kaufman Lake in Champaign. That's what we got, okay? Anyway, it sounded great. Brett did a great job. As I mentioned earlier, how come he can do my job and I can't do his? Anyway, nice introduction to our new defensive coordinator. All right, we're going to break for the news, come back with our segment, Smoke, with Tim Onstad, pitmaster extraordinaire, one of the best brisket makers ever. We know that. In fact, it's in the song. Stand by for all of that next. ESPN 93.5. Alan Hook from Ashley also going to jump on in the next half hour. Big President's Sale coming up. All right, 8:29.
Parlor Donuts and Stevie J Broadcasting want to send you to the next Fighting Illini home basketball game. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 and you could be on your way to State Farm Center. Stop by Parlor Donuts in the Old Farm Shops on Kirby and Madison Champaign before the game to try their layered donuts, cold brews, blended treats, and more. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 to win tickets with Parlor Donuts and Stevie J Broadcasting.
PDR Automotive in Urbana has been providing quality auto repair service for almost 50 years. Trusted by AAA Motor Club, PDR employs ASE certified technicians that use the latest in diagnostic equipment. They offer nationwide warranties and are even authorized to perform vehicle maintenance that won't void your factory warranty. Check them out 24/7 online at pdrauto.com. When you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. Another find in the desert darkness. Fox Digital reports a set of black gloves were recovered by Pima County and FBI forensics teams about a mile from Nancy Guthrie's home, being DNA tested for a match to the door cam video of the armed man at her door when the 84-year-old disappeared 12 days ago. The FBI with 4,000 tips in just 24 hours after releasing that surveillance video. Director Kash Patel says they're looking at multiple persons of interest. The House passed the SAVE Act for election security last night. Speaker Mike Johnson.
All it does is it ensures that if you're going to register to vote, you have to have proof of citizenship. And when you show up to vote, you have to show a photo ID.
The Senate grilling Minnesota's Attorney General today over $8 billion in taxpayer fraud on his watch. Southern Command reports the U.S. Navy destroyer Truxtun collided with a supply ship loading in the Caribbean. 2 sailors with minor injuries. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, the police presence in Champaign's Mattis Avenue Monday night, the result of a shooting. 2 teens shot. One of them died. It happened on Mattis and John Street. The coroner identified that man as 19-year-old Tariq Porter, who arrived at the hospital. Another teen remains hospitalized in stable condition. Mohammed man facing charges after multiple children who were under the age of 10 living in his home made allegations of sexual abuse. 64-year-old Willie Luckett arrested by officers February 7th. The arrest stems from a tip the police department got from the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services. Luckett facing 4 counts of predatory criminal sexual assault. Champaign County Coroner's Office released the identity of the person killed in a Monday car crash near Homer. The coroner says the victim is 82-year-old Karen Parv Newman. She died at the scene of the crash. An autopsy has been scheduled. The investigation into the accident continues. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. A real easy-going, mild, mid-winter, mid-February weather pattern over the next several days, probably well into next week, and some increased rainfall prospects, maybe a little more drought relief even at this point in the wintertime calendar. Partly sunny for the day today, up around 44. Maybe a sprinkle coming along later this morning into the afternoon. Light south wind, maybe a sprinkle this evening. Partly cloudy, 27 on the overnight. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. Milder still, up around 50, better than 15 above average. On a light south-southwesterly wind, we'll settle back to about 30 for tomorrow night. Partly sunny for the day on Saturday, still mild, maybe a shower chance late in the day. We'll high about 51 up to 53, and a sprinkle chance early on Sunday. Then afternoon sunshine. Unseasonably mild, south winds pick up with middle and upper 50s Monday and Tuesday. And a slow moving system out of the plains, Gulf moisture and unseasonable warmth with highs around 60 both Wednesday and Thursday. Both days will feature a few rounds of shower activity as well. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, every Thursday, and now a brand new show called Smoke, where we help you with your grill and making the best meat ever with award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Smoke in Tim's Grill. He's the best brisket maker ever. Smoke in Tim's Grill. And now award-winning competition pitmaster Tim on the start. It'll be early April before we know it. Tim and Donna go out and start competing again at the very highest levels. Here, I just thought came to my mind of all the people that are at these tournaments, obviously very serious at what they do, including you. Do you like eating your own food anymore, or would you rather crack out a box of macaroni and cheese from Kraft? How does that work?
We usually just take one bite of everything we cook just to see how it is, and actually we're cooking microwave meals is what we're eating at these places. But it's nice to be in balmy downtown Philo right now. This weather's kind of getting me fired up to go cook something.
So you are also, one part of getting ready is making sure your equipment is ready. Is there a cleaner smoker anywhere in the world than yours?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I kind of push that off a little bit until it's time to go, but and that way I know it's really clean. But we're right now, this time of year, we're basically scouting. I'm scouting out meat. This is a good time of the year to buy ribs, by the way, because the rib market, there haven't been a lot sold. The hogs are getting fatter. The ribs are a little bit thicker earlier in the year, and then you get into June, July, August, they're rushing them through the market, so they're a little bit leaner on the ribs, but now's a great time to buy ribs.
Where do you buy them?
I'll tell you my secret. Our ribs and our pork, and we've been doing well in ribs with a second in Jackson, Tennessee, next to the last time out, and then a sixth in Odessa, Missouri. So top 10 ribs is pretty good for us. We are getting them at Cordy Meat Products in Highland, Illinois. And Jay is a great guy down there that is the owner of the place, and he lets us go back to the freezers and pick what we want.
I would think that obviously you start with really, really good meat, right? That's a secret of being great.
Yeah. You want to get a good marbled pork. We're buying the pork collars, not the whole shoulders, just the collars that have the money muscle. And it's a good marbled meat. It just really looks good before you cook it and tastes good after you cook it.
All right, so do you just like, I'm calling this guy and then I'll try. When you're starting out, do you just kind of try them and see how it works?
Yeah, I've tried several suppliers. None of them have been really bad, but sometimes you catch one and it's really good, and so you want to go back. And so we'll stay with Cordy until something bad happens that I don't think I screwed up, and then we may try something else. But we're going, of course, to the butcher shop in Pensacola, Florida, where we're going to get our Australian Wagyu brisket.
Ooh.
And
that's your favorite brisket, Wagyu?
That's the one we've had the most luck with.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good Australian Wagyu and very marbled, very good. Not to say that we haven't had some good prime Angus from Mr. Brisket in Cleveland, but to compete at the top level with some of these guys, you kind of got to use the same meat they're using.
So what is the reason meat prices have been so high?
I think the
supply. We don't have as many cattle.
The people raising the cattle in the United States has shrunk down, and those herds have shrunken, from what I understand, and they're just not raising as many cattle.
You got to go to South Dakota. Johnny's got a cattle thing going on. He's raising cattle. I mean, it seems like the population is growing by leaps and bounds. Got somebody up there obviously helping him, because we don't know much about cattle. Moo!
I've never seen Johnny on a horse.
No, he has. I don't know if he's been on a horse, actually. Maybe as a child around the little circle thing.
Well, that would be neat to see, yeah.
No, but he's got cattle, and I think it's, 40 head or more growing.
Wow.
So maybe we can get a new supplier.
Yeah, we can bump up that supply.
As long as he has lifetime passes to graze with your stuff. That's what we need.
Well, he's always welcome to graze, but I didn't know that he actually had cattle that he was taking lessons from. So
no, I don't think he's necessarily involved much, but he's actually there this morning. Anyway, awesome. It's Tim Onstad, our pitmaster extraordinaire. So we're getting ready for competitions. How many are you guys going to do this year?
Oh, I think we'll do one a month from April through October, maybe one in November. We'll just see how it works out, see what if anybody wants us to do a tailgate, we'll have to try to fit one of those in there. So we may cook.
How does that happen, Tim? Everybody wants you to do a tailgate.
Show me the money.
Show me the money. That's right, man. When you do a competition, it's not cheap to get all your meat. And is there an entry fee?
Yeah, the entry fees run anywhere from $275 up to $400. Okay. Then you've got $600 to $800 worth of meat, all your ingredients, and then your travel expenses and all of that stuff.
Do the serious ones want the payout? Do they want to know what the purse is?
Oh yeah.
So what's a big purse in a weekend of this kind of work?
Well, the biggest purse that we've ever been involved with was in cash and prizes about $65,000.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah, and we took our small share out of that.
Yeah, that's good. What can the grand champion win out of $65,000? 5?
Oh,
10?
No, the grand champion paid $12,500 on that.
Wow.
And they got a a diamond and gold ring, like a Super Bowl ring. Dang. It was worth about $13,000.
Whoa.
But in order to get that, they also did well in categories, so they stacked up category. I figured he won 19. He was parked right next to us. I figured he won 19 or 20.
Not a bad weekend.
That weekend.
Not a bad
no,
weekend.
that's not a bad weekend.
All right, Tim, talk to me about Dedicated Diesel. What's happening over there in Urbana on Triumph Drive?
Oh, Dedicated Diesel is exceeding my expectations on what we've been able to do there and make some changes. And we are waiting on the state of Illinois to come in and test me so that we can get our safety lane going back the way it should be. But we've got new customers coming in for repairs, services on semis. We've got annual inspections coming in. We can still do the federal annual inspections for trucks with a US DOT number that cross the state lines. And we're getting inventory straightened out, doing all the things that we need to do to be on good footing with it.
Well, I tell you what, it can't be – there's not a lot of places to take semis for that kind of full service.
No. There's not a lot, and there are some bigger commercial places, and you might be waiting a week to get in for just a normal service.
Wow.
So if you let us know ahead of time, we can have all the filters and parts and everything and be ready to go.
Awesome. Okay, Gelferix Trucking, we need any drivers?
Well, we've got, as of tomorrow, we will have 2 openings. I'm going to probably be a Debbie Downer here a little bit. We had a driver yesterday give notice that Friday was her last day because the government is going to pay her more to stay home, apparently. Well, she makes she makes too much money is the reason. And I've had a lot of drivers quit for a lot of reasons, but making too much money is kind of a rare one.
And somebody in the family is disabled, so they get money. You can't earn too much if you're on disability, that kind of thing?
Yeah, and she makes too much money, so she's giving up $10,000 in income to make. Well, that's how much too much she's making is right. $10,000 too much in income to get back $600 a month in insurance. So she's trading $10,000 in income for $7,200 a year in insurance.
I don't quite get that math, but maybe she should just take a $10,000 pay cut.
It doesn't math to me, and I told Donna just offer her less money and see if she'll still work.
Yeah, right. No, right. I mean, you know what? And I know our government is a whole other topic another day, but their government, if you're incentivizing people to not work, that's the wrong direction.
That's what it seems like to me is it's an incentive not to work, and there's got to be a pride factor in doing a job and earning a living. I don't know. I don't get it. So.
No, I don't get it either because you want people to go out, and just like so many departments, in fact, I think all good. If you don't spend the budget you're given in your area department, you lose it. You don't get it. If you say, I give money back, they take it away from you, so you spend it on stuff.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And
you're rewarded for that.
And if you are eligible for money and don't need it, you have people encouraging you to take it anyway.
Yeah.
We've been through that in my family with veterans money where you just didn't need it, but they said you got to take it because if you don't take it, we won't get it again.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Tim, pleasure always.
Hey, it's great to be here, Stevie.
Thanks
Thank
for coming
you.
by, buddy. Tim Onstadt, Gail Frericks Trucking and Dedicated Diesel, ESPN 93.5. It is 8:44. Back with a huge President's Sale at Ashley with the great Ellen Hook. Next.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
In 1925, Bud and B. Reichert founded a small plumbing business in Urbana. Today, nearly 100 years later, A&R Mechanical is still thriving. A&R Mechanical believes in designing, building, and maintaining. As one of the largest and most innovative contractors in the Midwest, their team creates and sustains essential facility systems for iconic structures like the State Farm Center, the Memorial Stadium expansion, the Oven Basketball Complex, the Smith Football Performance Center, along with baseball, softball, and the Demersion Indoor Golf Facility. I'm Jay Lehman, former Fighting Illini All-American linebacker. As a longtime Champaign-Urbana resident, I can assure you that A&R Mechanical and their contributions have been a cornerstone to this community. Congratulations, A&R Mechanical, on 100 years of dedication, innovation, and community spirit. Design, build, maintain. It's what they've done for nearly 100 years and what they'll continue to do for the next 100 years. A&R Mechanical, celebrating a century of excellence and service. Visit ar-mech.com for more details.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians, I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
Ever wonder why you pay your bank to have a checking account? Fisher National Bank does too. You see, they offer free rewards cashback checking that gives you cash back on debit purchases, no service fees or balance requirements. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's so simple. Reward yourself today with rewards cashback checking. Learn more at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Parlor Donuts and Stevie J Broadcasting want to send you to the next Fighting Illini home basketball game. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 and you could be on your way to State Farm Center. Stop by Parlor Donuts in the Old Farm Shops on Kirby and Madison Champaign before the game to try their layered donuts, cold brews, blended treats, and more. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 to win tickets with Parlor Donuts and Stevie J Broadcasting.
Yeah, it's available, 217-359-2255. If you want to go to the Indiana game, we have tickets. Diane's back tomorrow. Ellen Hook. Her family's owned Ashley Furniture for 150-some years. 160, 70, yeah? How are you?
154 years.
Man. You're there, right? You're
Yep.
on there. Okay, it's Ellen. Nice to have you here. Thanks for driving to
It's
Final.
always good to be
always
here.
Always a pleasure to see you and your growing family, 3 kids, ages again.
We got a 9, 8, and just turned 3 yesterday.
What? You just had the baby yesterday.
I know, and her birthdays, I realized yesterday was always going to be somehow every year between the Super Bowl and Valentine's Day.
Okay,
so we're going to have football hearts flying around the house the week of her birthday every year.
And both you and your husband are tall, and so your kids are probably going to be long, and your boys 9 and 8, are they showing interest in any particular sport?
Right now they're in basketball, and they're starting to take to basketball a little bit now, but they've been hardcore football.
Really?
Yeah. They love football right now. So.
You guys have a busy household.
It's busy. It's
awesome.
so busy. It's
Ashley,
great.
all right, Ashley has a big President's Day sale. Tell me about that.
We do. So President's Day is a great time to buy for many reasons, but we have a remodeled store. We actually have some new products and features that we're going to be putting out for spring. So patios starting to hit the floor, but our mattress offers are off the charts right now. So we're giving away a Tempur-Pedic mattress. All you have to do is come in and try it. And of course, we always have President's Day deals and sales and things. It kind of just depends on what you're looking for. But we are offering the 0% for 60 months, no money down financing offer. So that's always great. Great time to buy. Don't put any money down. Just Don't pay your first bill till after you get your furniture. It's a win-win. Otherwise, we have great hot buys, doorbusters on living room, bedroom, dining, you name it. We got it.
When is all this happening?
Right now.
Okay.
It's happening all the way through President's Day. So I know a lot of people are going to be off school, off of work on Monday. So we'll be ready for you to come in all weekend long. Or we are going to probably end up extending that sale till, I think, March 3rd.
Okay, so we got a little time.
We got a little time.
President's weekend is the week from this weekend.
It's this weekend.
This is President's Day
Yeah,
because
we
it's
got-
Lincoln's birthday, Washington's birthday. So we got through Monday, but you think we're going to have it a little longer.
Yeah, we usually end up extending it, especially if you've come in and shopped. It gets busy this weekend.
Okay.
So, but come in and check out all the deals. We love seeing everybody come in the store and give us, their thoughts on our newest products and try out our mattresses and
Ashley
take advantage
Furniture
of all
has
the
great
offers.
staff too. I mean, people that are there to show you around, help you.
Yes, they aren't pushy, so we get a lot of good feedback. Our Google reviews are great. They love being able to walk around the store and not feel like they're being chased around by somebody or, watched. So we get a lot of great feedback. I have a really wonderful staff. I'm very proud of them.
Well, that's awesome. Hard to do that too, by the way. And Ashley is such a beautiful store and big.
We keep remodeling this building. It's an old Menards building, and you wouldn't really know it. But when you come in, we have new paint. We have new furniture coming in all the time. We never stop reinvesting back into our stores and into our team members. So we love it. We love seeing all the newness come in, and everybody likes to have new furniture. I mean, who doesn't love a new item in their home? It just refreshes the whole house, and we get closer to spring. The looks and styles just keep coming. So.
Okay, and so again, this weekend's a big President's Day sale at Ashley Furniture. Where will I find you?
So you can find us on ilhomestores.com or just go to the bigashley.com website. You'll find our locator page there. We're at 602 West Anthony Drive, and we've been in Champaign now. This is our 20th year, Stevie. 20 years in Champaign, which
Really?
I can't believe. So I'm 154, family year business, but I can't believe we've been in Champaign now for 20 years. So
Ashley has to be one of the most popular brands.
it is the number one unaided brand recognized furniture company. We have the third largest website in the world, and we're the world's largest producer of furniture.
Man.
So it's pretty amazing to be this old, a fifth generation family owned, Illinois based, locally owned company, be partnered with this amazing global Ashley world. So really great to be a partner.
And the hours?
Our hours are 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and Sunday we're 11 to 6.
Okay. Got Ashley Furniture hours there, and again, you're gonna feel the energy walking in this weekend.
The vibes are good.
Vibes
the
are
vibes
good.
are good.
Chance to win like stuff.
That's right. We get to win. We're going to give away a Tempur-Pedic mattress.
I can't believe you're doing a Tempur-Pedic.
It's one of our most popular. It is
Yeah.
our most popular model, but it's a Queen Lux Adapt Tempur-Pedic, and the features I could go on and on about. But if you come in and try it out, you'll see for yourself. Feels great. Sleep is good.
Yeah, no, and you
Sleep
have
is
people
good.
that know that mattress.
Yeah,
that can
exactly.
kind of guide you, and if you get the elevating kind, you decide to buy one that brings you up. You can 30% lift gives you a little less snoring.
Less snoring.
Which is
One of our
huge.
bases is so cool. It automatically adjusts as it senses your snoring. It's called the Smart Base, and we're giving one away. So when you purchase the Queen Tempur-Pedic mattress, you're going to get a free adjustable base, queen size adjustable base. So
That
it's,
hears the snoring and elevates.
It does. It senses it, and it also syncs up with your TV. So like it's an audio experience. It's a smart base. It's like incredible. The technology is off the charts.
And it'll balance your checkbook too?
It will balance your check. Well, for 0% for 60 months, we're not worried about that.
That's quite an offer.
Yeah, it's
It really
pretty
is.
great.
Ellen Hook, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
And you
too.
had the other thing, Hope. What was it?
Hope to Dream. So any time a customer purchases a mattress in our stores, we donate $5 on their behalf to our Hope to Dream fund.
Wonderful.
And we take local nominations for kids who don't have a bed to sleep on. And so we put together a mattress, a foundation, a bed, pillow, sheets, protector, and we give them a safe, secure bed to call their own. So if you know someone, we are always taking nominations. This year we're going to give away about 20 beds locally here in Champaign. So if anybody knows a child that's sleeping on the couch or sharing rooms or beds, or you never know. But
It's
we are
awesome you're
taking
doing that.
nominations. Anytime anyone purchases from us, we do $5 goes into that fund, and then we're going to be able to donate about 20 beds
That's
this year.
just awesome you do that. And again, it's same website.
Same website. Yep, ashley.com.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to see you.
You too.
Ellen Hook, Ashley Furniture, President's Day sale. Get in there this weekend. You'll love it. You'll love the energy, and maybe you'll win.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
When sewer or septic trouble hits, visit Berg Sewer and Septic. Family owned and proudly serving Central Illinois, Berg specializes in sewer repair, septic service, water line repairs, sump pumps, and drainage solutions. They don't upsell, they solve the problem right the first time. From backups to breakdowns, count on Central Illinois' most trusted septic service. Berg Sewer and Septic. Dependable, honest, local. Get a second opinion you can trust. Visit bergtanksinc.com.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Provident Financial Group is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services. Investment advisory services offered through Raymond James Financial Service Advisors, Inc.
Have you been to Pards in Urbana? Well, you need to go to Pards in Urbana. Here's what people are saying. Great customer service, friendly staff. They treat you like family. I love Pards. I was very impressed. Great service. Very neat store. I was greeted and asked if they could help me. That's why you should go. Check them out. It's Pards in Urbana. They're between University and Maine. It's on Maple. Pards in Urbana, or visit pards.com. Pards.com. Alrighty, we'll wind up the program. Nice of Ellen to drop by here in Philo. Ellen Hook, and again her family, 154 years of ownership. 1872, that's kind of rare. A long time. And of course, Tim Onstout's a great guy. And man, if you ever get a chance to eat some of his food, woo! Oof. And he doesn't, he has been hired from time to time, but he demands a lot of money. I demand it for him because you don't get better brisket than that, or anything else for that matter. All right, we will return, God willing, tomorrow. Diane's back tomorrow. It'll be fun. Illinois gets ready for Indiana. We have tickets to give away tomorrow for that. If you, again, want to be considered on our Fisher National Bank text line, 217-359-2255, you can text in Illini. And the Indiana game, Indiana, of course, playing well. The Big Ten's just what it is. Northwestern had a 16-point lead on now the future number one team, Michigan. I think they'll move up since Arizona lost, I think. But they're real good. But Northwestern, a 16-point lead with 10 minutes to play and just couldn't, and lost by 12. I mean, Michigan just said, uh-oh, boys, better turn it up because these guys are getting too sassy. And Michigan's loaded. And Merez Johnson, I think he's a great kid. I'm not going to boo him, but I think he'll probably get booed because he's so darn good and he's playing for Michigan now. But Merez was a really good again last night, so it'll be tough. Well, enjoy the weather. It's a nice day. It's Abraham Lincoln's birthday, so away we go. Enjoy, and see you tomorrow on the radio. I'm Stevie J. Thank you for listening, and again, have a great day.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Got a plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical, or sewer problem? Look no further than Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric. Locally owned and trusted, Fred's team of professionals is ready to tackle projects both big and small. Why waste time and money on complicated DIY fixes? Fred's experienced team will get the job done right, saving you time, stress, and cash. And when it comes to sewer problems, make sure you call Fred's for a second opinion you can trust. At Fred's, they do it all. No project too big, no project too small. They do insulation, repairs, replacement, and maintenance, and they now offer service agreements. For reliable service, professional expertise, and solutions that work, call Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric today. 217-586-3863. Or go to fredscu.com. You can always trust Fred's.
Have you tried the Jets Pizza Thin Crust Pizza? Get a large, thin crust, 2-topping pizza cut into squares, and you have a quick appetizer for that next party, or just a spontaneous get together with friends. Add a side of Jet's homemade ranch to add a little zing. No mess and fuss in the kitchen. Jet's Pizza, 2-topping, large, thin crust cut into squares for just $14.99. It's not just pizza, it's Jet's Pizza.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnace is run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
RS and find the children.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the